I do have a newer phone. I went from iPhone to October. That's kind of why I hadn't been doing any videos. I was just kind of messing around with it. And if you're watching, I apologize that you're not able to get back with me. Let me see. Let me go. Sorry. Just trying to figure out what's going on. All right, moving on. I was just about to talk about the Beach Boys On Tour 1968 collection. I was saying that I really hadn't had a chance to listen to it. It's kind of overwhelming. What I did want to listen to was there was a band instrumental, which was really like, whoa, where did this come from? Then you actually hear that it's them.
Oh yeah, I'm introduced Ernie
leaving the stage.
Fantastic musicians that we are fortunate enough to carry with us to be our great ensemble here.
So it's the backing horn band, which I love the horns on the Live in London album. But this, I like this song. It's nice. It's nice though. The Beach Boys are trying to be hip a little bit. This is not the way to do it. I know I didn't live then, so I can't say. But to me, this is something that would be on the Murray Wilson hour. It really sounds like something from a talk show. And, if you're trying to reach out to a hipper crowd, I don't think this is the way about going about that. I appreciate that we have it on here, though. It's really cool. It's another thing I never knew existed. Like, whoa, didn't know they had a band instrumental in the middle of their show. So I thought that was really cool to include. Like I said, it's kind of not anti-hip, really. Where does that fit in with the let's see here, fit in with the Maharishi and whatnot musicians? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Marcus. Forgot I was live there for a second. It is cool that it's included, but it was just like, where did that come from? Moving on from reviewing things, finally got this bad boy for Christmas, and I had a chance to listen to it only twice. I did enjoy it, though. I will say, when I first saw the album cover online, I was like, just looks like I'm not a huge fan of it. Now that I have it on vinyl, and I love when you have albums and it's like holding artwork and you can show it off. And seeing it now like this, I enjoy it. I appreciate what it's trying to do. So on the inside, though, I was thinking about how the Beach Boys Christmas album, the first side is all originals, the teen side, and it's Brian's productions. Now, I believe Frosty the Snowman was at the end of that, which would be a traditional song standard, and then you have the orchestral part. And then side B was the traditional hymns and whatnot, and traditional songs. And this kind of holds up the same way. So on the first side, you have a lot of originals, and the thing is, I don't really know who wrote all of them. There is no writing credits on this album at all. It's cool. There's liner notes that come with it, and it does tell how much or who all sang on it and whatnot. And it also was, also shows where it was recorded. It's great to see like his backing musicians from his touring group are on there, but it's kind of like, well, who wrote Finally It's Christmas? And actually, who wrote that? I don't know, but it's a Hanson song originally, which I was told on Facebook. And then Mike did a version of it. But like Little Saint Nick, we know Brian wrote part of that. So, Marcus, I saw that, the ESQ, but I have not read it in depth. So now that I have a little bit of time, maybe I will get to that. Perhaps the writing credits are there. I don't know. So looking at some of the songs and being a Beach Boy geek that I am, I see that, okay, Jingle Bell Rock, that's what he did with like Adrian Baker and Dean Torrance. And it's actually a very different version from that. Not very different, but different. Along Christmas Day, which was from the early MIU days when they were going to do the Christmas album in the late 70s. And then that got scrapped. And then we have the Very Merry Christmas, which the band Phoenix covered along Christmas Day. And then Mike did his version. Really cool that they included that. Then you have, well, like I was saying, side A is the originals. Side B is kind of the hymns. Now, it starts out, track 7, well, it's the first track on side B, is Reason for the Season. And, of course, that's not a traditional hymn. It's actually kind of the shortened bread riff, which everybody's loving on, saying, come on, Mike, using Brian's favorite riff. But it kind of introduces that side because that side has all the hymns, and we know if you're talking about Reason for the Season, that is, singing about Jesus and what Jesus' birth. And so it kind of coincides as a whole thought on that side, which I thought was kind of cool. Do you hear what I want to? Do you hear what I hear is on here, which was also on the Scrooge's Rock and Roll special? And it's a different version from that. I was wondering if it would be kind of a retread from that, but it's not. I like the version from that, but this is good too. And that's about it. There's actually a lot of vocals from his family on there. When I had this playing, my wife was like, that's not even Mike singing. I'm like, no, that's actually his daughter, Amba, which was kind of cool. So I also just wanted to show this. If you get it on vinyl, you get the awesome colored vinyl. And as you can see, as you can see, the tracks are listed around the label here, which is kind of cool. Cool way of doing that. So there's that. And I just wanted to take a minute to talk about Brian, Al, and Blondie's Christmas album tour. I did not get to go to it, but I appreciate everybody who took video of that so we could experience that. Man, if they had done that for all of his tours that people couldn't go to, like, no, I'm sorry. The Gershwin tour, the Smile one has obviously been heavily documented. Let's see. Pet Sounds tour also as well, but the Jeff Beck stuff, that would be kind of cool to see. Anyway, with the Christmas album, they did a great job. I watched earlier, Man with All the Toys is the What I Really Want for Christmas album version, the kind of rocking version with the sax solo, and they include the part of Joy to the World at the end, which is kind of cool. Blondie and Al really tear it up on Merry Christmas Baby. Very surprising on that. That was one of the first things I heard when people were going to the shows. It's like, listen to Merry Christmas Baby. Let's see. I know Blondie did an amazing job of A Holy Night, which it's just a very soulful version of it. And, that song's been around for centuries. When you can bring a new vibe, a new spiritual vibe to something like that, it's quite amazing. And Blondie surely does that. I believe that was mentioned on the Pet Sounds mailing list, and it's been going around. I highly recommend. This is all on YouTube if you want to watch it. Obviously not as good as being there, but what can you do if you didn't go? You watch on YouTube like I do. Let's see. Christmas Time Is Here Again and Winter Symphony were played from the unreleased Christmas album from the late 70s. And Al takes on the Winter Symphony vocals instead of Brian, and he really does an amazing job at it. It's like it was tailored for his vocals. Al, of all the Beach Boys, his vocals have lasted the longest, have lasted they're just so pure and great. Mike's have been kind of going off a little bit. This is no criticism. They're just older, and that's just the truth. And Brian, of course, has has had many stages of his vocals, which is a whole nother essay for a whole nother topic for another time. I do know when Brian did do vocals, they were very breathy, like his Pet Sounds live vocals from the past few years, kind of just saying it. And I know his back's hurting him, and this is no criticism of him either. I hope he's just doing what he likes doing, and no one's pushing him to do this. And I don't think anybody is. I believe his bandmates have said, no, this is really what he wants to do, and I believe that. So I think that was it. Oh, I wish Child of Winter would have been on there, but you can't get everything. Maybe next year. I don't know. A few other things I got for Christmas. Finally got this of the Four Freshmen, which I had known of their standards of It's a Blue World, because that's one of Brian's favorite songs. Graduation Day, Heartful Spring, and Day by Day, which was mixed in the Love and Mercy soundtrack, which was awesome. But I didn't know a lot of their stuff, and I just thought, it's really cool to hear the basics that Brian grew up with, like the Four Freshmen, the high-lows, see where he's coming from. Got the Hunky Dory soundtrack. This is from 2011. I just saw that movie for the first time a couple years ago. They do a version of Don't Talk on there. And while this CD looks like something from Glee, this is really good. They do a bunch of ELO songs and, of course, David Bowie songs. I highly recommend it. You can listen to it on YouTube. Anyway, I think that's going to conclude today. Finally, I got all this done. I appreciate you watching, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon. Happy New Year.